Having to leave Canada because your PGWP is expiring and you can't extend it is very stressful for individuals. And we get contacts from people all the time regarding this situation, asking, what can I do? My PGWP is expiring. There were temporary public policies that were set in the past due to COVID that allowed for PGWP holders to extend their work permit for 18 months. However, right now, none of those public policies are in effect. So we're back to the normal stage of PGWPs and what regulations are set in place for them. So normally PGWPs are a very, very special type of work permit that allows you to work for any employer anywhere in Canada. And the requirement is that you need to graduate from a designated learning institute that's eligible to, provide programs that are going to give you PGWPs afterwards. Once your PGWP expires, you cannot renew it. However, let's say that you had done your bachelor's degree in Canada and you were eligible for a 3-year post-graduation work permit, but due to your passport expiring at an earlier date, you are only eligible to get a 1.5-year post-graduation work permit. In these specific situations, you can submit a work permit application to IRCC and get your post-graduation work permit extended for the full amount that you would normally have gotten. Now, when we talk about post-graduation work permit extension applications, the instructions that are given by IRCC is that you do need to submit these applications on paper. And normally speaking, when it says that paper applications are required, we do recommend following the instructions that's provided on IRCC's website. However, in practice, we have done this hundreds of times and we've had clients tell us about this hundreds of times, is we have not once heard of a refusal of submitting an online application for a PGWP extension. And so it's up to you to decide what you really want to do. But at the end of the day, the safest thing to do is follow the instructions given by IRCC. If your post-graduation work permit expires, there are other options for you to extend your work permit. It's not going to be another post-graduation work permit, but some of the popular ones are going to be LMIA-based work permits, which are employer-led, meaning your employer does need to sponsor you by getting a positive labor market impact assessment from Service Canada. It is a rather lengthy process that employers don't generally enjoy because they need to run advertisements for 4 weeks at a time and interview candidates that meet the job requirements and seem to be a Canadian PR or a citizen. So it takes a lot of resources from them and a lot of time. And so they generally try to shy away from it. There's another category of work permits in Canada called LMIA exempt work permits. So if you take a look at IRCC's guidelines, you'll see a list of different LMIA exemption codes, and each code refers to a different type of exemption for LMIAs. And usually the most popular ones are going to be, as a result of international free trade agreements between different countries. There's ones for Canadian interests, which at the end of the day is what a PGWP is. It's an LMIA exempt work permit. Other options that are quite popular is, let's say that you are currently applying for permanent residency and you've submitted an application. You may be eligible to submit a bridging open work permit that bridges the gap between your current status until a decision is made on your permanent residency. There are PMP-based work permits. Let's say you get nominated through a provincial nominee program. You can get an employer-specific work permit with the support of the province. And in some cases, we do find that, family applications where, let's say, a post-graduation work permit holder is about to expire, their spouse went to school, graduated, and is applying for their own post-graduation work permit, you can apply for a spousal open work permit for that individual. Or let's say you end up finding the love of your life in Canada and you get married or you're in a common law relationship. If you submit an application for family class applications, then you will be able to also apply for a spousal open work permit so that you can continue working in Canada. If you take a look at both LMIA and LMIA exempt work permit options and you still cannot find one that is a good fit for you, there may be a chance that there's no possibility to extend your work permit in Canada. In situations like this, you can, consider changing your status to a visitor while you look for a new employer who's willing to get an LMIA for you. You can apply for a study permit just to extend status, but both of these options obviously are going to be your last options available, because after you study, what are you going to do? Because you're still not going to be able to work because you've already had a PGWP in the past. And so before this happens, I do always recommend applicants for post-graduation work permits or spousal open work permits, whatever it is, to reach out to an immigration consultant or do your research online to create a plan and options for you down the line for how you're going to extend your status or obtain permanent residency. We are specialists in immigration, so if you end up reaching out to us, we will be able to come up with a roadmap directly for you, and you can book consultations directly with us on our website, pgwpcanada.com. The link is down below. If you're currently in the process of applying for your post-graduation work permit, then you can also get free assessments done on our website, which directly go over all of the requirements, eligibility requirements, and it'll give you a PDF form that shows you which requirements are met and not met so that you can create a plan around how you want to submit the application. If you need us to take care of the application, we also provide those services. But before we provide those services, all the assessments, everything you do on our website, it is completely free of charge.